Everybody's been having a blast playing on the Korean version of Wonderking. I've been seeing a lot of new players pop up and actually come out and test the game just to kind of see what exactly is going on over here. I will say that there are a few things that I do want to mention just in case anybody doesn't know the news. This will pretty much just kind of solidify a lot of the things that people are kind of wondering about North American Wonderking, or really the global version. I'm going to try to refer to it as that, but really the global version, there's going to be a lot of really big differences compared to the Korean version. So first things first, we're going to talk about questing. Questing in the Korean version at the moment really isn't that intrusive or really a big part of the game as it was in the old version of Wonderking. A lot of people have been talking about that recently, but the devs have already come out and said essentially that there will be more quests, and that's going to be a really good thing for everybody who is really into the whole quest leveling thing. And hopefully as time goes forward, that will continue to kind of be the case, so that way that it'll smooth out the leveling process a bit more than what it is in the Korean version. A lot of people are saying that in the KR version that things are just a little bit too quick for their liking, which is okay. Everybody has different taste and things like that, but as you can see, that a lot of the quests in this game really don't do a whole lot for you unless they're event quests. Usually the event quests carry a lot of really good rewards for having those specific quests completed before the event time is over. And also in this version currently, there are a lot of event quests that only last for like a week or two at a time before things actually get changed into something else. So if things like that are just being used as like a test slot at the moment, that's kind of understandable, but that is one thing that I did want to point out, is that the North American version / global version will definitely have way more quests, is what the devs have told us. So it is important to just kind of like hold that on, and I think that if you were a big fan of the quests and things like that back in the day, that we'll be seeing a lot more of that in the global version. Another thing that I did want to talk about is the EXP rate. Some people think that the EXP rate at the beginning is super fast, so the devs have already talked about changing the tempo of the fighting early on and potentially even later. I'm thinking that in general, the two fighting styles between the global version and the KR version are going to be completely different. I think that the North American / global version is going to be a bit of a tougher feat to actually level to level 600. There's not really telling what the level cap is going to be in the North American version until we actually get our hands on it. But for right now, it is important to know that in the KR version, the max level is 650. Most people are not above level 600. Your average level for right now, even in the game, is right around level 500 to 520. A lot of players are newer, have been playing for the past couple of weeks for this second anniversary event, have definitely been able to take advantage of the boost, and it's really nice just in general to see a lot of that stuff happen. Another thing that I did want to point out is that PvP will also be in the global version, but it's not in the KR version. In KR, it's just not as popular, so many people don't really like the PvP aspect, so it was just straight up removed in the KR version, and they've already told us before that they are not going to be planning to add in PvP back. If it does come back, you know, it's an addition, but again, at the moment, I don't think that a lot of people in the KR version really have a demand for that sort of play. I know that in the global version back in the day, back about 14-15 years ago, the first version of Wonderking, it was a huge part of the game, and it's actually cool to see that it is coming back to the global version. So that is something that you definitely do want to note and to hold on to. Another thing that I did want to talk about is the pay-to-win system. A lot of people have been asking about how pay-to-win is Korean Wonderking. I really am going to go ahead and say that there's a lot of potential for free-to-play aspects. Now, a lot of people are going to look at that as, okay, yeah, the game is pay-to-win, but in reality, the game in itself for free-to-play, it only will take you so far, because the game really is only developed so much at this point in time. There's a lot of things that are still missing. A lot of older things that we used to love, like grab quests and collection quests, things like that are still missing. NPCs out in the open world are still missing, and a lot of other really cool aspects that we used to love from before. A lot of things like guild stuff, guild raids, guild wars, and stuff like that aren't in the game at the moment. So we'll just have to see where it takes us as time goes forward. But for the most part, it is just simply one of those things where we have to wait and see exactly where the direction is going to go, especially after global, because I feel like a lot of the developmental pace will come from global, and that they're going to take a lot of that global stuff or global recommendations and then test it in the KR market and then bring it to the global market officially, probably like 3 to 6 months down the road. Usually how that works with all Korean games that are usually a few months ahead of the actual global version. So I'm expecting something of the same to be there. Another thing that I do want to talk about is the bead system. I know that that's another really big new thing that a lot of people are asking about, but really the bead system is a new set of storyline quests that have been relaunched in this game recently. As of right now, they will take you up to level 200, and you'll be able to grind out the last 4 bead systems, just getting bead bags from those current areas, and that will really take a lot of time. A lot of people have spent 100+ hours trying to grind these areas, bosses and still aren't complete. So just expect to spend at least 100 to 200 hours on the unlucky side to actually continue grinding. But these bags are sellable, and they're really the biggest thing that has happened since the releasement of the character enhancement tickets, which also were another really big direct power boost to your character. But in general, this is a free system, so a lot of free damage really makes this game really damage easy early on. You'll probably be able to defeat the first 1,000 bosses really quickly. I've been seeing a lot of players come on during this event. I've been playing for about 6 to 7 weeks, and they're already defeating bosses up to level 1000 within like 15 to 20 minutes. So you can see that there's a lot of room for progression and things like that as this game continues to go forward. A lot of people ask about the expedition system. I do believe that a lot of these systems are going to be in the game fresh out. Expedition really is a huge game changer. A lot of people are saying, oh yeah, you might want to be careful about what character you want to raise. In my opinion, don't listen to any of that. I just say in general, just play what you want, because at the end of the day, you're still going to be able to get all of these stats regardless of whether they're good or not. In my opinion, yes, it would be good to start off with a damage based character for your expedition system, but it is not necessary. I've seen a lot of people who are like Temple Knights and Genociders who are really strong in the Korean version, and they don't main a damage main class, you know, like a Beastkeeper, a Dark Lord, or an Assassin. There's actually a lot of Genociders on the way up, which is quite surprising to see even after this rebalance. The DPM classes are doing really good. Yeah, a lot of the DPM classes really have been doing super well, and it's actually been proven a lot now that DPM classes just in general are going to be way better than a lot of those burst classes until you start to get cooldown reduction on set classes. And for those of you guys who don't know about burst versus DPM, there's like whole Reddit post, and there's actually a video that I made explaining pretty much every other class in this game down to the T, how to build them, what you need to look for, and all that other stuff. So if you're looking for stuff like that, links down below in the description to that video and to those Reddit posts, so that way you can get informed about exactly what's going on with each class. Another thing that I did want to talk about last but not least is class rebalance potential. I think that with the way that Wonderking will be set up in the global version, considering that the tempo will be completely slowed or completely different from how it flows in the current KR version, there will be a whole different rebalance list for global, and there probably are going to be new damage lists and stuff like that, but we won't 100% know until they actually show us and tell us. So we'll just have to see exactly what happens on October 29th. We still haven't heard any news about the beta. They said that they're going to be sending out news shortly about, you know, who got in, or at least who got accepted, or at least letting us know that the beta has started. So we're just waiting for news on that as well, but they did tell us that they're going to be waiting, so that's another really big thing to look out for. Hopefully a lot of you guys are excited for what's coming, because Wonderking in itself is a really cool game, and I do like a lot of the things about it. I like how lax it can be. I know that some people aren't a fan of the automatic button, but trust me, as time goes forward, you're gonna wish that you had this, so that way that you can actually enjoy other things outside of Wonderking. I know that it sounds kind of crazy right now, but in the long run, I do think that things like this will definitely help out the game. I know that right now the auto button may in general just be removed from the global version, but that is just speculation, of course. But as time goes forward, we will just have to wait and see how the community likes the auto button. I do think that in Eastern standards, or excuse me, in Western standards, that things like that are not acceptable. So we will have to wait and see exactly what the West will want out of Wonderking, and I think that the developers will adjust to exactly what we need over here in the West. But thank you guys so much. This is Kojin. I know that it's been a minute since I made a video. Right now I'm too busy trying to make my best time out of the time on Korean Wonderking. I still will be playing Korean Wonderking even after the North American launch, simply because I know that content will hit here first, and then as global comes out, and if anything does come different from there, we will do what we have to do. But right now I am currently rank 11 in combat power, and I am rank 13 in levels. And also, as my expedition has been going, I haven't actually touched expedition in quite some time. I actually have a lot of gains to make here. I'm rank 15 in that, so pretty much right now I'm like a top 15 player across the board in this game. So I've been literally doing everything in my potential power to get to level 600, because I do want to show off these new skills, but that won't be until level 625. But we have to get strong enough to get to that point, so there's still a lot of gains and potential things that I can do in the meantime. Progression video will be coming up here next month. Actually no, it's October, so yeah, it's no yeah, in November I will be doing our progress check, because that's actually when I started my character, November 17th. So it'll be my 1 year anniversary for having Beast Kojin and actually progressing him for 1 straight year, just to show you guys exactly how much time that I actually invested into this character and what all the games look like as time goes forward. But thank you guys so much for everything that's been going on. For those of you guys who know this character, this is my first main. I actually don't use him as much anymore, but I do like to do research on him and stuff like that, and I use him for bossing, so it's actually really fun. But yeah, for those of you guys who had a bunch of questions about any of that stuff, October 29th is the date. So within 27 days, or oh, excuse me, no, it's October 3rd right now. So we're getting close, guys. We're getting real close. It's under 25 days now. So thank you guys so much for all the other stuff that's been going on. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are excited. I will be covering Global Wonder King content just to see exactly how different it's going to be. Might even live stream a few days out of the week, but I'm not sure about a day one stream immediately for me, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of content coming out as soon as day one hits. I've been hearing that there's a lot of content creators and people who used to be guide creators for the old versions coming back, and I know that this is going to be a crazy revival, and that hopefully if the devs listen to the community enough that they can lift it out of its graces of how it was in the older version. So thank you guys so much, and hopefully as time goes forward, Wonder King will continue to grow. I will always support the community and all the content that comes out of it, and thank you guys for everything that you guys have done to support me as a content creator for Wonder King for the past 2 years almost now. So it's been a blast, and I will continue to do what I can. We do have damage charts and stuff like that still in the works. I know that it's been a long time, but just life and stuff gets busy, so we will do the damage charts for the Korean version and things like that, so people can actually understand exactly how each class damages and stuff like that. Has been a high demand question as of late. But yeah, anything else that you guys need, just throw it down in the comment section. I will definitely be around listening, especially if you're on the Reddit will definitely start to be getting more active over the next couple of weeks as the game launches. Any new news that comes out from the developers, we will also post on the Reddit as well. So thank you guys so much for everything that's been going on, and I will see you on the next one.